Good afternoon, race fans, and a very warm welcome to the Portuguese Grand Prix. We are in Portimão for round 2 of the 2021 season. Coco leads the championship, Hamilton trailing by 8 points, with Perez in third trailing by a further 3 points. Perez taking his first pole ever, in his second start for Red Bull. This is only the second visit to the Algarve International Circuit, and the 18th World Championship Grand Prix to be held in Portugal. We are located in the heart of the Algarve region, in southern Portugal, the very place that Ayrton Senna chose as his base when racing in Europe. With rain expected halfway into this race, teams are constantly changing their strategies, which will make things unpredictable and interesting. Marcello.
Thank you, Stuart, and welcome to this very fantastic race circuit. We can expect very blustery conditions, with rain coming later in the race. A top speed of 211 miles an hour, or 341 kilometers an hour. With 2 DRS zones now, with a new one in between turns 4 and 5. The tire compound for this race: C1, the hard, C2, the medium, and C3, the soft. With the soft tire being the favorite for most runners, except for Perez the pole sitter, going with the yellow marked tire, the mediums. There are 15 turns over the course of this very fantastic 2.9-mile circuit. 9 to the right and 6 to the left. This is a circuit with a lot of uphill action, so the exits from the corners will be pivotal to holding position. It's going to be very extremely interesting to see how the conditions today will help some and upset others.
Let's run you through the drivers' top 10 grid order for this exciting race. Sergio Perez will lead us away in pole position, and Hamilton alongside in second. Verstappen, Bottas, Coco, Leclerc, Sainz, Norris, Ricciardo, and Fernando Alonso rounding up the top 10. With the race starting shortly, let's head down the pit lane and see what the weather has in store for us today. Kate.
I'm standing here outside the Mercedes garage looking down the pit lane. The weather strategists are really earning their money today. I managed a quick chat with Toto Forks and he confirmed what we are all largely thinking. It's a question of when, and not if, the rain will come, which will play a big part of the strategy today. Can you hear that background noise? Yep. It's all the head scratching going on in the pit lane, frantically trying to predict the exact moment the rain will come, trying to gain even a minor advantage on their rivals, which may make a difference between winning and losing today. Back to you, Stuart.
We are all set then, for an eventful Portuguese Grand Prix. Is it Mercedes? Is it Red Bull? Or will it be Formula Sim TV? Where are the challenges coming from? Because of the soft tire compound chosen by most of the frontrunners at the start, they will be queuing up to attack Sergio Perez in pole, the only one with the mediums. How do you see it, David?
Hope so. It is 302 meters from pole position to the braking point for turn 1. All crowding in the slipstream of Perez and Hamilton, who are punching a hole through the air, trying to beat each other to that critical first apex.
So with the strong headwind, and Sergio Perez, the first to punch a hole through it, is pole position an advantage?
It's not a particularly a long way down to turn 1, to let's say Monza, but is enough to give someone else a slipstream, especially into a headwind. And of course DRS is not available for 2 laps after a start of a race, or indeed after a safety car restart. Also, it does not look like the strategists have a handle on the race. With the threat of rain, the teams don't seem to know which way to go with the tires, and for how long to go with them.
Green, green, and they're off. The front runners all get away well. Perez retains the lead, Hamilton holding off Verstappen, and Bottas and Coco exchanging pleasantries. The short run down to turn 1, and Coco manages to get in front of Bottas for 4th place. Sainz leapfrogging his Ferrari teammate, and now in 5th, Leclerc 6th. The 2 McLarens pushing the Ferraris hard, Ricciardo fighting for 7th after starting 9th. Up front, it's Perez leading the charge with Hamilton after a few squabbles in 2nd, with Verstappen in 3rd. Coco not happy with gaining 1 position, looking menacing, and tries going down the outside to turn 5, but Verstappen firmly shutting that door. They so nearly touch. Good going by the rookie, avoiding disappointment. That gives Bottas the impetus he needs and cuts to the inside to turn 7. A slight touch of wheels, but Coco manages to stay ahead in 4th. So it's Perez, Hamilton, Verstappen, Coco, Bottas, Sainz, Ricciardo, Leclerc, Norris and Gasly, the top 10.
Wow! Very amazing start from all the drivers. So many position changes. A fantastic move, Coco taking Bottas on the outside and making it stick. Bottas having to take a tighter line, needed to slow down more, for the right-hander, which gave Coco the speed difference. If we look at Hamilton, he really needed to dig very deep, and knew the importance of keeping ahead of his main rival.
Coco so close to Verstappen now. He got a great drive coming off the last bend, but Verstappen manages to stay ahead. Down the straight they go, and of course still no DRS till next lap. Coco dives down the inside of Verstappen into turn 1. Maybe carrying too much speed. Goes very wide but takes and holds on to third place. He made a bit of a hash of it, but it worked out in the end. Teams take note. Bottas is pitting. There doesn't seem to be an obvious issue. What can you tell us, Ryan?
You are right. No obvious issue. Also, the Mercedes mechanics have been out waiting for Bottas. So my guess is, he may have some sort of damage with the only very slight contact he had with Coco through 6 and 7. It really didn't look like much and Coco seems to be going along just fine. A front wing going on, with a fresh set of mediums, so he must have picked up some aero damage. That's plan A out the window. Verstappen is in the pits now. A new front wing and a set of new mediums going on. What can he do to recover something from this race? He has lost so much time, but maybe there's hope. Max was kind of favorite for this year's championship, but there is still a long way to go.
I don't think Coco is on Max's Christmas list this year. It is 2 out of 2 races they have come together, both very minor knocks, but enough to knock Max out of last race the season opener, and today, it has ruined Verstappen's race, which will upset a few Dutch fans, for sure. Wow! Verstappen comes out the pit lane right in front of Bottas. He also had to stop last lap, for a front wing change. They are fighting for last, and second last. They know there are still points up for grabs.
Coco reeling in Hamilton, who looks like he is being held up by a cautious Perez. Into turn 15 they go. Coco, getting a great exit, carrying so much more speed of the fast final corner. Down the pit lane straight they duel. DRS wide open for both drivers. Coco sticks it on the apex, with Hamilton having to go the long way around and passes Hamilton cleanly for a change, and into second place.
Coco looks like he means business today. He is right on the gearbox of Perez and looking very fast in this part of the race. Very unbelievably slips it down the inside of 13 and takes the lead of this fantastic Grand Prix.
The leader of this race blinks first, eliminating the possible undercut, and comes into the pits for his first change of fresh boots. On go the medium tires, which is good thinking by this new FSTV team, as rain is expected later. They are hoping that their next stop will be for inters or wets. Hamilton now in the pit lane for his first stop. The strategists at Mercedes obviously feel mirroring the FSTV car should keep Lewis in the hunt for later on in the race, not needing to take too many risks with strategy just yet.
Ferrari McLaren in a train, fighting for third place in the Constructors' Championship. Sainz in third, followed closely by Ricciardo in fourth, Leclerc fifth and Norris sixth, but they will all need to pit soon. Ricciardo now pitting with Leclerc close behind. Both make smooth pit stops, and now rejoining the track as they were. Ricciardo followed by Leclerc.
Red Bull have been holding out hoping to hold off their pit stop until the rain. We have been listening in on the radio and Perez is complaining about his tires being completely shot. So into the pits comes Perez, from the lead of this race, the pit lane rev limiter keeping him at a steady 50 miles per hour down the pit lane, which feels like an eternity. Perez stops perfectly on his mark for 2.3 seconds.
After the first round of pit stops, Coco is back in the lead. It's going to be very interesting to see what chaos the rain brings. This fantastic race is coming together like a good spaghetti.
No issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them.
As predicted, we can now see droplets of rain on the camera lenses. It shouldn't concern the drivers too much, as it's light drizzle at the moment. But what can we expect, Kate?
The weather buffins are predicting the rain in around 6 minutes, which puts it at around lap 38. Judging by all the commotion here in the pit lane, all the teams know a tyre change is imminent. Who will make the first move? Will they go with the intermediates or full wets? What risks will some teams take?
The rain is coming down, very much heavier now with the lap time stumbling. It looks like the Formula Sim TV team are taking no chance. Coco in the pits from the lead of this race and now followed by Hamilton and Perez. They are all pitting now. Coco with the inters on, and inters as well for the others. Very good stop by Coco and off he goes amazingly in the lead of this race.
They have all chosen the inters which will easily last to the end. The only way they will stop again is if it pours down or it completely dries. No dramas in the pit stops, so the only way for the drivers to move forward will be to overtake on track. Are we going to see some last-minute drama?
The gap to the leader is closing. Hamilton now only 6.5 seconds behind the leader, from 8.8 seconds. Coco looks so comfortable and in charge of this race, but you can see the difference in confidence between Coco and the 7-time world champion.
There's an incident in the next part of the track.
Coco seems to be very much struggling in these conditions, perhaps being a little overcautious. We think the message from Michael on his halo will help keep him on the tarmac.
The 7 times world champion, showing his skills in the wet, has relentlessly hunted down the FSTV car, and he has Coco right in his sight. Meanwhile, Coco seems to be a little unsure. With his pace inconsistent, the weather conditions has really thrown the rookie off his rhythm. That spiraled him to the lead of this race from 5th on the grid.
It's a very shame, Coco runs very wide in turn 8, and not for the first time. He is finding it very extremely difficult to put the car where he would like. Wow! Hamilton easily drives straight down the inside, and takes the lead of this race for the first time today. The backmarker really getting in everyone's way, but I suppose he is running his own race.
Coco hasn't settled for second by any means. He is pushing now like mad, trying to perhaps unsettle Lewis or force him into a mistake. Coco picked up a lovely slipstream through 15 but runs very wide on exit.
Okay, you need to give that position back. That was an illegal overtake.
He knew right away he would need to give the place back and wasted no time at all in doing so. Smart and on the ball.
I am sure he very definitely will try and try again.
With the conclusion of this race only a few laps away, Coco again sets himself up for turn 15. This time he cuts to the inside, keeping Hamilton guessing as where to place his car to fend off any attack. Coco overtakes Hamilton, But the mighty Mercedes just powers down the straight, putting his nose once again in front. Coco dives into the apex, hoping his car will slow down, and makes Hamilton go the long way around. The FSTV car once again is amazingly leading this race.
Just look at this. Hamilton taking advantage of Coco going slightly wide into turn 8, he easily cruises past Coco, and again goes into the lead of this fantastic race. What a dramatic finale! What a ding-dong battle between these two very amazing drivers.
The world champion reveling in these conditions, the weather making the difference today. It's business as usual at Mercedes. Lewis Hamilton takes the final bend and wins the Portuguese Grand Prix. Coco put up a valiant fight today against the reigning champion. An eventful race to say the least, now taking his final corners and takes second place for Formula Sim TV.
Nice work, you did well today.
What
I think
a
the boss will be
race
happy with
that
one.
was!
Relief at the Mercedes garage, as they win their first race of the season. Hamilton drove magnificently today, never giving up, with Coco showing why his peers call him future world champion. A lot of respect shown between these two protagonists, and I am sure we will see these two battle it out many more times this season. The drivers take their hard-earned place on the podium.
Here are the drivers' standings. Coco still in the lead of the championship with 45 points, with Hamilton a close second, only 2 points behind. If we look at the Constructors' Championship, we see Mercedes opening up a 12-point lead over Formula Sim TV. Red Bull, McLaren and Ferrari battling it out for third place. Please join us for all the excitement and all the drama at the third race of the season in Spain. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell, share and like, it would be really appreciated. Looking forward to seeing you all very soon.